Welcome to the podcast of the Coaches Next Door.
This is a podcast for self-coaching, for getting more insights about yourself, others, and the world in mind, body, emotions, behavior, patterns, and results.
Welcome to the podcast, The Coaches Next Door. And today I want to talk to you about something really important. Like always, I want to talk to you about a principle that really, when I share this with my students and my clients, is really a shift in their perspective about a lot of different things. So I think could be helpful for a lot of us, okay? So I want to talk to you about balance and equilibrium. I hear, and probably you also, and read a lot about balance. And we hear about life-work balance, and we hear about myself and kids balance, like how do I deal with myself and being a mom, balance. We want to balance things. Balance is not the thing. So think about this. What is balance? Let's go for the idea of balance and the definition of balance. To start, balance is when things are at the same level, measure. They have the same qualities. They take the same space. They have the same weight. So they are not the same thing, but they are the same level, right? And this is not healthy. And you're like, what? Balance is not healthy? Of course not. Of course not. Nothing in you is balanced. So, for instance, you eat. Your body gets disbalanced. So the part of your body that needs more attention is your stomach. And some things will happen in your system because your stomach needs more attention. Like some people get a little bit more sleepy. Some people get a little bit more energy. Depends on the person. But your body will react to that new information that is food, okay? So nothing in us is balanced. If I'm moving a part of my body, it's very even difficult that the other part of my body is doing exactly the same thing, right? You know that you have one side that is a little bit more flexible, one side that is a little bit more strong. So nothing in us is balanced. Why we want to bring balance to our lives? It's not interesting. It's not even possible, I will say. I will say that a lot of the frustrations, anxieties, sometimes even burnouts, they come because people feel, I cannot have balance. I feel disbalanced. And I go like, yeah, and you will not ever have balance because that is not our nature. Our nature is equilibrium. What is the difference between balance and equilibrium? Simple. Equilibrium is we choose the point that is going to be in effort for the other parts to relax. And this is very important. Okay, if you think about, for instance, the planets and how all this system works, is this idea that each one of the planets takes a position and they don't take the position of each other. So this is exactly what I mean with equilibrium, is this idea that we need one force and one point of force that the other parts can just relax. Otherwise, we will be always in tension. We will be always in effort. The idea of having balance is what is really, I believe, creating a lot of stress in people. Is the sensation that I need to get it all. I need to put everything at the same level. I always give this idea is that I have 3 kids. Okay, if I want to hug my kids like a real hug, I need to hug each one of them separately. Of course I can hold 2 of them, okay? I can hold 2, but will not be a full hug. And for sure, I cannot hold the 3 of them at the same time, the same way, right? So if we want to hug if I want to hug one of my kids, I need to do it, each one of them in one time. And this is a metaphor for you to maybe realize that, for instance, when you are working, it's very difficult that you are doing that 100% if you are still thinking about what is going on at home and you want to, be a present parent and you get that in the back of your head. So one of the ways of really finding this equilibrium is that when you are working, you are working. And when you are with the kids, you are with the kids. And defining that when you are doing one thing, you are not doing the other. And yes, sometimes you will be working more than you should, okay? But it's necessary sometimes. And you can also get that in the negotiation, saying, okay, I'm willing to work for 2 weeks more hours than I should, because I also want to give my attention to my kids. But after these 2 weeks of working hard, I will take more time than before to my kids. I will take 1 day or 2 days off. So that is the idea, is that we are looking for equilibrium. We are looking to find out what is the exact tension that we need to put in what place to get the result that we want. So that is the idea of not going for balance, because we don't want to keep things at the same level. We want to give the attention and the presence and even the tension to the place that is necessary for us to get the results that we want. So when you are, for instance, planning your week, it's very important that you find this equilibrium and not the balance. That you say, okay, if one day I, for instance, work until late, the next day, where can I create the space that for me to rest, or for me to be with my kids, or for me to go to the gym? And not the idea that in one day I need to balance things, like, oh, if I work hard, I play hard. I don't know what you think about this expression, but I really hate it. I think that it's not about that, It's not like that is about really putting things on the same level. And I go like, no, my joy will never be at the same level that my work, okay? So this is the idea that I want to pass to you. And we can bring this idea to our agenda, to our weeks, to our months, to our years, okay? And saying, okay, what is the time that I'm going to dedicate to this? And what is the time that I'm going to not use because I want to dedicate to another thing? And what I see people doing is really, really wanting everything at the same time, and everything with the same, let's say, qualities and the same impact and the same, even with the same joy, So this is very difficult, and another mosquito here. Woohoo! And this can put us in high pressure that will not support us. It's not that pressure that will support us, because that pressure will be a distraction and will take us away from the equilibrium that we need to be doing. I did classic ballet for many years, and I do yoga, and that is what I appreciate, is that sense of equilibrium. For instance, in yoga, you are not using your body in the same way in one posture, for instance. Each posture will require different muscles from your body. And if you are able to detect what is the muscle or the position that you need to be to get the position in perfection, you're going to understand that it's super easy to get there, to get to the master position. But you cannot use muscles that are unnecessary, because then the position will not be a position of a master. So that is the beauty, is choosing with precision where I'm going to put my attention, where I'm going to put my time, where I'm going to put my skills, and where I'm going to use my talents. So all these questions, they are questions that will amplify your idea of equilibrium. And when you are doing one thing, please don't try to do a lot of things at the same time, because then you are not here in what you need to be doing 100%, because your system is not able to do it. Okay? So if you want to be doing one thing 100% or even 120, you need to only be doing that. So that brings us to the focus. I want for us to really establish a new notion for life. And life is this equilibrium, is taking the decision where and what I'm going to use. What is the force that I'm going to amplify to have the result that I need, or the result that I want, okay? And to give up, to really give up on the idea of balance. I honestly think that is bringing a lot of anxiety, and a lot of the sensation that we are doing something wrong, that if we don't have balance, that we are doing something wrong. And this is not even reality. I honestly think that balance is impossible. And I think we need to accept that we ourselves, as humans, as a system, we are not balanced. So if we understand that, we want to put that in the world. We want to put that in our relationships as well. Our relationships are not balanced as well. Like if you are with your friends, you are not going to pay attention to your wife. Okay? If you are with your wife, you are not going to pay attention to your friends. That is how this works. So if you want to, sometimes you want to be with your friends, and sometimes you want to be paying attention to your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner. So wanting both at the same time, and sometimes people do that, right? They're like, oh no, I want to be both. So I'm going to invite my friends to my house, and then I'm with my wife and with my friends at the same time. And like, that is not the same thing. That is not the same thing. And it sometimes doesn't work, right? And your wife is still going to complain, or your husband is still going to complain that he didn't have full attention. And your friends are going to complain that they also didn't have full attention because you were paying attention to your wife. So it gets complicated. Gets highly complicated, right? And this complication, incredibly, we are the ones putting it on the plate, on the table, saying, let's complicate this, Let's make this highly complicated for people to really get messed up and really, to see if we explode. So we don't need that. We don't need that if we take clear decisions of, okay, now I want to pay attention to my friends. And now I want to pay attention to my kids. And now I want to pay attention to my work. And now I want to pay attention to myself. And this is, I receive a lot of people, and incredibly women saying, hey, I want to balance this me time with family time. And I'm like, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be highly difficult. And it's going to bring a lot of space for frustration. So take decisions. Instead of wanting that balance, take the decision how much time you are going to dedicate to yourself and how much time you are going to dedicate to your kids as being a mom, okay? So take that decision. That decision is much better, I think, than wanting to have it all at the same time. And this is what I would like to make it explicit, is the difference between wanting balance and going for equilibrium. So my proposal is that we go for equilibrium. We take a clear decision where we are going to put attention, where we are going to put attention, and how much time, how much dedication we are going to give to that. And the rest will follow. And I think this is the decision that we need to take. That is the decision that we need to be explicit doing. So if you want an exercise, if you want to put this in your life, my suggestion is that you put everything that is important for you, everything that matters, in a paper, and then you say, okay, how much time I want to dedicate to this. Until with this time, with this energy, with this time, space, I will be satisfied. And just write it down and say, this is how much I want to dedicate to this. And just do it. Put in your agenda and make it not a negotiation. This is how it's going to be. And this is how much I'm going to dedicate to this. Whatever happens, I'm not going to open up to something that matters to me. Yeah? So do this exercise and find your own equilibrium. And this is very personal. So don't go and look to your friends how they do it. Don't go to your husband to see how he does it, because this is very personal, and you are the one that needs to feel good about it. Okay? So do your own list, do your own time, do your own space, and do your calendar, your own. And I'm pretty sure that will give you the sensation that you are doing what is important for you. And that is what matters. Indeed. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Thank you for listening. The Coach is next door. And follow up. We have new episodes coming in. And every month you have a new episode that you can listen to. And remember, you can always share these episodes with someone that you think that could be a benefit or could feel a benefit from these episodes. And we will really like to receive also your comments and your questions. And if you want me to talk about something in particular that will fit you or your needs or your curiosities, please reach out by email, by a message, by a comment. I'm pretty sure you will find your way. Thank you so much, and we hear each other. Take care.